Hey everybody, happy Mortgage Monday. Tess Gascon here with Kobi Rex from Bay Equity. We were just talking about how it's Martin Luther King Jr. Day, and in honor of celebrating everything that he worked for, equality and giving to others, serving other people, we thought that we would talk a little bit about what it takes when someone wants to help another person purchase a home. So whether that's gifting funds, co-signing the loan, buying a home for another person, kind of what that looks like and what kind of home loan you get for that and what the process is.
Cool. Where do you want me to start?
Let's start with gifting funds. How does that work?
So gifting funds is definitely one of the most simple ways to do it. For me, that's actually how I got into my first home. My mom helped give me some funds so that way I could close. And the biggest thing that I think with that is we just need a little bit of documentation, or pretty much if you just wire the money to title, what it does is the person that is on the loan still qualifies based on their income and their debt, but a lot of times it helps with closing costs and the down payment to get them initially in the house.
And is there a limit on that?
I don't think there really is.
Okay.
No.
Just as long as they can track the funds.
Yep, as long as they can track the funds, or if they're really, I have a lot of people that are touchy about getting, a lot of times we ask for bank statement, but if you're touchy about getting a bank statement from them, just wire directly to title and we don't need anything.
Awesome. Okay, cool. And then what about, so if someone wants to, like, say people that are getting into their first home or trying to work with different situations to help get someone into a home, if someone wanted to co-sign on a loan, how does that work?
Yep, that's awesome. So the co-borrower situation, the best part about this is a lot of times when you have a first-time home buyer, they don't have enough income to qualify. So we can't get their debt-to-income ratio to function correctly. But when we add a co-borrower, what we can do is a lot of times use the income of the other borrower. We still have to use both of the credit scores. So like if you have a lower credit score and the co-signer has a higher credit score, we still have to use the lowest credit score in terms of qualification purposes. But the fact that you can qualify with that income, we see that a lot of times it makes a ton of difference.
And do they both have to live in the home?
No, they don't. We have a lot of, yes, we have certain, there's certain programs where like you do down payment assistance. Mm-hmm. If you're using down payment assistance, you have to be really careful with that because the only non-occupying co-borrower, which means if the person doesn't live with you when that's allowed, is if they are using a Shanoa funds, whereas our two most, the two ones we use are the Chaffer program usually and the El Paso County bond, and those you cannot have a non-occupying co-borrower. So that would more be a position where you'd probably want to either talk about doing the Shanoa stuff or about doing gift funds.
Gotcha. Okay, awesome. And then I guess also too, how does it work? So say, and I've seen this a few times where like a parent buys a home for another person, like usually kid or it could be aunt, grandma, whatever. How does that work? Does the person living in the home, are they able to be part owner or are they just kind of occupying the home?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
I actually did one of these the other day. So the way to do it a lot of times is the person, so I had a dad that was buying the home for the son. And what the dad does is he owns the house. And then what you can do is it's called arm length transaction restrictions where you have to wait 6 months. But after the home has been owned for 6 months, then you can do a sale of the property so that the other person can be on title. Additionally, pretty much anybody when you purchase a house has the opportunity to put anybody on title.
Okay.
So I think that a lot of times what we've had to do is wait 6 months to sell the property to a relative. Okay. That's a seasoning requirement.
Yeah.
But I think that it's done a lot of times. It's not abnormal. And yeah, it's a great way to help someone that you love get into a home.
Awesome. Okay, great information.
Cool.
Well, thank you very much for your time and happy Mortgage Monday, everybody.
Happy Mortgage Monday.
Have a good day.